What's up, Bears fans? Welcome back to the Everything Bears Show, your home for Everything Bears. And tonight, we have Coach Chad back in the building, where he's going to be breaking down a couple of plays, demonstrating Caleb's understanding of Ben Johnson's offense. Super excited for that. And while I have your attention, let me be honest with you guys for a second. I'm a funny guy, I'm a funny personality, but I'm definitely not a salesperson. I'm not. And it feels a little bit awkward. But if you love everything about Bears, subscribe to the show so you never miss out when we go live. We love joking with the chat, and we love talking everything Bears, and we don't want you to miss out. We'll bring in Coach Chad right after this.
Mic check. Chicago check. Monsters of the Midway check. Every Sunday got the city on fire. Every episode taking Bears fans higher. Talking quarterbacks, linebackers, draft day dreams. Breaking down the game like a championship team. No hot takes, just football facts. Blue and orange faithful got our backs. From Hollis to today, we carry the torch. Welcome to the show. Pull up a chair on the porch. Everything Bears show. Bears, let's go. Everything Bears show. Everybody knows. Everything Bears show. From the lake to the road. Everything Bears show. Chicago, let's go. The Bears never sleep. And neither do we. Everything Bears show.
Everything Bears show is off the chain. He's out of control right now.
We're out of control right now. We're always out of control. And, ladies and gentlemen, Bears fans, brought to you by our lovely non-sponsors, Jarritos. Welcome. Give a round of applause. Coach Chad, back in the building. Here we go. He's the man. Look at him. Here we go.
There we go.
Got our ice cold refreshments. Big Mike in the building. Good to see you, Big Mike. He says, but bam. But bam, DA. We got our man. I look, when you posted that, Big Mike, I thought that was a new 1920 football drive video. I was like, oh, snap. I was all excited. And I was like, oh, wait, this is old. And I am going to get that on a soundbite. But Coach Chad, welcome back to Everything Bears.
Hey,
so thank you so much for coming back.
Yeah, thank you for having me back again. Looks like I didn't wear out my welcome the last time. So let's see what we can do today.
That's right. No, everybody loved it. So, shoot, we could jump right into it.
Yeah, if you want to.
Let's pull this up and where's my screen share? There she is.
All right. Let me
bam, here we go.
Let's go view. Actually, slideshow from the beginning. All right. Let's dive right into it. All right. So what I mentioned to you guys on Sunday was that I was going to have week 12 Bears versus Steelers. It turned out to be a victory for the Chicago Bears. There's two clips here I'm just going to share with you today and just break it down, like how Ben Johnson and the staff makes things very easy for Caleb Williams as far as, recognizing, like reading a defense and creating open space, like how to widen space, making the read as easy as possible for him so he can get the ball out. Without any kind of confusion. It's kind of like a if this then that kind of a thing. So
okay, right.
So here we have I think it was what was it second quarter. It's a third down, 5 yards to go. Pittsburgh's up 14-7. Bears are in the red zone on the 12-yard line. And if we look at like kind of going back to my very first time that I was on with you guys with the 13 personnel is like, gritting the field. All right. So, Ben Johnson had a staff, I'm going to assume he had a staff in for a meeting and they're breaking down like, hey, what does Pittsburgh like to do in the red zone? Whether it's the high red zone or the low red zone. They identified that they play a man-free kind of coverage. So what that means is they got one, free safety, and they line up man, across the board. So we got man over here, man up top here. All right. Running backs in the backfield. This guy's lined up on him, a man. Looks like he's going to be a rush. He's a rush. He's a rush. He's a rush. And we just don't know what this guy is doing. All right. So these are the two guys. Like, he's probably going to be playing the deep half of the field. Looks like he's playing, middle of the field rather than over the ball. This one, we don't know, like the inside back, we don't know what he's going to do it, if he's a delayed blitz or if they're going to do some kind of like high-low bracket on one of these guys. Ez, is this showing up okay on your screen?
Yeah, everything looks great. Yep.
Everything looks good? Okay, perfect. All right. So if we draw up our grid that we did the last time, all right, so I'm just going to draw up the kind of create our run box. So we go half the distance up to the hard deck, if you remember that. So that's about 7 yards. That puts us like right around the 5 yard line here. So we're going halfway, let's say, going all the way across here to halfway through the receiver here.
Yeah.
All right. So we're looking inside of a run box. All right. We have 6 gaps we can run through. If you remember, we have the C, the B, and A, and then the corresponding A, B, and C on the other side. So how many defenders they got? All right, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 for 6. All right, so that's pretty much a wash. We can definitely scheme against that, but it's nobody has a man advantage on that, so we can have some one-on fun there. We draw our center line through here, all right, going all the way to the back of the end zone. And if you look over here, the Bears, we have 2 wide receivers to their 3 guys. So the defense has a plus, is on the plus side of that. So we are a -1 player on this side. So if I'm game planning this, scheming this, I'm going to say, hey, the free safety, based on where he plays, which side of that line of center, we're going to move over to the one side or not, one side or the other side. But again, I'm going to also credit R4 systems. If you want to look into how to grid a field, you can hook up with Coach Doug Maddox in the R4 systems. Pay what for their information. They got quality information there. Now we look over here on this side here, and this is kind of where I got into the whole sandbox. Like, what sandbox do I want to play in? Over here, do we want to play here in the run box, or on the outside here? We have 2 defenders versus R2, so we have some one-on fun matchups over here. So that's pretty much where my mindset goes as a play caller or a coordinator. I'm looking at, hey, where can I get the one-on fun matchups? So
and if I could see that properly, Caleb's looking right over there right now.
Yeah, he's looking over there. Yeah, because he's going to have this guy here come into motion. So this is, let me clear this out, and we'll play it a little bit ahead.
Oh, you know what, too? StreamYard's share tab is there. If you can hit that hide one time.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Did that last time. There you go. Is that good?
Perfect.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So, yeah, we're looking at this. So we know we got like a man free. These guys are playing below the hard deck. So that kind of tells me, like, hey, they're probably playing, some kind of man. Although, they could be, they are a cover 3 team. So these corners will bail out once in a while. But in the red zone, they're primarily a man team. All right, so we see the motion, all right, and of course, as we know, if a guy runs with a guy, another man, we're thinking, okay, it's going to be man coverage. So as he runs through here, let's just watch the motion, like what happens with that. All right, so we know that this defender right here, we identified him covering this guy one-on-one on man, so he's running with him.
Yep.
And let me use the pen to draw this up. So we know he's one-on-one. He's one-on-one. All right. He's got his eyeballs here. These guys are all kind of taking man hip angles as they're reading. He's watching the running back here. So they're taking man hip angles. So pretty much what that means is that if you look at their hips, all right, which direction are they running? Like, he's running with them. Like, they're trying to stay in contact with these guys here, and that's a good identifier for the quarterback. Like, hey, are they a man or a zone? That's a helpful identifier. He's still sitting back. This was the guy that we didn't really know what he was going to happen, but we see that he's clearing out this space right here. Yeah. All right. We got a really solid pocket. Bears spent quality money on an offensive line. So that's exactly like what you want to see. Quarterbacks love this kind of stuff. You got 5-man protection and you only have four guys rushing. So, this is looking pretty good right on the get-go with how this play is shaping up.
That is a nice looking pocket there.
Yep. So you got a good pocket. So he's going to have plenty of time. He clears out through here. So we're looking at this side. Remember we said in the grid, we did not want to attack over down in here because of the numbers advantage. We have a guy, this guy running through here. Of course, he's got to, run through all this. We had another receiver. So you have 4 receivers over here. They got a lot of people over there, but we left that. We had that 0, remember the 0 that was down here. So we had one on fun matchups over here on this side. So that's where, he decided to target this play, was back up against the boundary side of this play. So we'll come back through here. All right. So as the ball is snapped, this is the primary target, and I can't.
Is that Colston Loveland?
Is it Colston? I think it is. So what he's going to do here is a technique called on his release is spray, right? So what spray is, like, let me go back to let's say back in high school, your coach might have said, "Hey, run a 5-yard out." So what did you do? You would get up here, you'd run your straight. You run straight 5 yards, and then you break down and you square it off as a 5-yard out. Well, NFL, of course, offenses kind of change. You got 5-yard speed outs where you're rounding it at 3 yards, and then you're coming up on top. Or you can use what's called a spray technique. All right. So what Colston's going to do here is he's going to push his stem rather than go vertical straight up. He's going to push it to the outside shoulder of this defensive back right here. Yeah. All right. So that's going to widen this defensive back out. So he has to turn his hips this way. So if his hips are turned that way, what can't he cover? He can't cover back.
Going back in.
He can't cover back inside. So as soon as you get their hips turned, you got him beat on the opposite side there. All right. So let me get back through here. Whoop. All right, so we're watching the motion here. All right, so you see Loveland, he sprays, he starts pushing outside.
Yeah.
All right, you see the defensive back, his hips. Of course, I had
they turn a little bit.
But his hips are turned outside here, so what can't he cover? He can't cover anything back in. Yeah. And that's exactly where he's coming back. He sprayed, release him outside, get him to turn his hips. These guys are vacating.
Yeah, they're leaving.
Right? That creates a nice little pocket right here. And I tell you what, wait till you see the end zone shot, how much that's expanded there.
Caleb's arm is locked and loaded now.
Yeah, he sees that, and as soon as he saw this guy right here, turn his hips, he's run this way. This was the only oddball guy. When you look at Caleb's helmet, right? I know you can't see their eyes, but you can see their face masks. Which way does the face mask turn? Is it left, right? Is he looking straight ahead? You can see that, hey, I got to see this guy. Where is he going to be playing, for this? Because I have a one-on-fun matchup right on top right there.
A one-on-fun
matchup right there. So that's where I want to go. That's where this play ended up going. So it was a great play design by Ben Johnson and other his staff, and great execution on top of it. So we identified the defense as man coverage. We also say, hey, okay, where do we have a man advantage? Or we could create a man advantage in the run game because it was 0-on-0. Of course, if we had a +1, we would run the ball 100 times out of 100. In my opinion, that's what I would do. And we know Ben Johnson, he loves to run the football. Or if we have a +1 out here, if there's only one defender on 2, we're throwing now screens, we're throwing quick bubbles, get a guy to block, and then just get to the outside and get to the end zone as fast as we can. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna run this through here. He sprays outside, comes back in. The ball's already being delivered, and he catches the
yeah.
ball for an easy 6.
Woo.
All right. So I'm just going to let that kind of play out in regular time rather than me chopping it up for you guys here.
Yeah, man, he drops back, locks, loads, throws.
Yep.
Just fantastic.
Real easy. All right, so now we get to the end zone shot here. All right, so I said, hey, look at Caleb. Let's look at Caleb here on this one. So let's look at his helmet, like where his eyeballs go as soon as the ball. He's looking. He's like, okay, identified. It's man coverage. That's exactly what they saw on film. Yeah. He's motioning his guy over, and where does his face mask go? He's looking. You can see his face mask right there.
Yeah.
Let me slow it down a little bit here, kind of come back, hopefully a little bit clips. But you see his head turn, and he's looking at this guy right here. Remember, we identified on the very first clip, like, okay, man free. Odds are he's playing deep middle of the field, actually, to the field side rather than over the ball.
Yeah.
That's a good, also some coaching information you want to have as a coordinator, or if you're an assistant coach up in a box, and you want to feed information to your play caller. We also identified this guy. We didn't know what he was doing. We already knew that this guy was already covering the running back, right? And we had, a hat for a hat and a double team right here, a hat for a hat and a hat for a hat right there. So we know we were going to get that really nice, clean pocket right there. And we just had to say, okay, what is this guy doing? Okay. So as we get the play to go through, so we see Caleb's face mask. He looks right at that number 6. He vacates out along with the guy that was covering him, and look at that. I can't stress this enough. Like this, for an NFL player, I mean, that is a lot of real estate.
Yeah,
that is a huge freaking window right there, to get that ball inside. And with the Loveland, he did that spray technique. So he's on the ball. He pushes to the guy's outside shoulders. He gets his hips turned. What can he cover? Everything back in this area right here.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like, shooting fish in a barrel, if you want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he set him up. He baited him.
Baited him in there. All right. So
and then him being such a large body with good hands, as he breaks and he's one inside position, it was a wrap.
Yep. So, and remember, I told you, like, okay, well, like one of the things that quarterbacks are taught, majority of quarterbacks are taught, is that you have different windows to throw to complete passes in, right? So, like, there's the immediate, which would be like the first window in front of a defender. So we know that we have Loveland coming in from this side here. Right. So like the first window would be like, hey, this is the window right here. We could throw the ball in. Or if this number 6, if he, for whatever reason, comes up or steps up, here's the second window is behind him. So whenever you hear like a commentator on TV or a coach say, hey, hit the first window or hit the second window, this is what they're talking about, is that, hey, like as they're coming through, like this is the first window where Loveland comes in. If you can't hit there, this is where your footwork comes, for like, the quarterbacks like Caleb Williams.
Wait another hitch.
You slow or you slow down your tempo in your drop and you're hitting the second window. Yeah. So, there's a couple different techniques you can do based on the quarterback's, comfort level. That's something you would have to work with the individual player on. That's, developing that relationship with them. Say, hey, this is what I'm anticipating seeing on film. You study with your position group, your quarterback, your starter. It's like, hey, if we don't get this, okay, you practice throwing that in the first window, and then you practice it throwing in the second window, all in your individual drills, right? So let me get back into here.
Big Mike says there was so much space there, the Bears could have built a stadium.
Yeah, I could have ran through there. Right. So, and we see number 6. All right. He vacates out of there. So he's running into the second window. He completely leaves. and Caleb already knows this. Like as soon as he sees number 6, his body lean, his leverage is, he's already working inside. He already knows that the defender that's running with him, he's the only one now that could could really mess up this play. And you see him kind of getting the screen here.
Yeah.
You see, you got hip angles. These guys are running this way. They're chasing. They're double teaming DJ Moore.
Doubling him, yeah, because that corner was the guy who manned up on him at the start of the play.
Yep.
Trailing behind there.
He's coming across, and they must have said, "Hey, jump inside. We don't want to give a quick, easy over the middle." That's probably, I would guess, what number 6, what his responsibility is hey, don't let any passes come in this window right here.
Yeah.
All right, and let's kind of play it out. All right, he watches number 6. He sees him. He's like, I got this. Caleb's like, I got this. He throws on time in the first window, and bang, he hits
great
Colston right there for an easy 6. Ties the game up, on that. So I'll just let this play out here. You guys can kind of see the whole thing.
Yeah, that was nice, on time, on rhythm. Great ball placement. Great catch. Just fall forward, Colston. Just fall forward. Bang.
Yeah, and if I'm coming back to this, I'm taking that all the time. But if I wanted to come back onto this play here, we got there's some windows here. You can kind of see that these looks like he's probably coming some kind of outside routes. Any kind of man kind of coverage, you want to throw the ball. You want to have routes that go away from the defenders, or any kind of crossing, pick routes, rub routes. But you're kind of looking over here. Looks like he's kind of breaking down. Not really sure if he's like, I know I'm a decoy, so he doesn't have a responsibility. But coming outside here, getting like a double post kind of concept where one's coming underneath that free safety. So if this, well, here, let me clean this up. And this is something that I would probably come back to, maybe a little bit afterwards, and right about there. So if I wanted to attack like the backside here, knowing that I have four guys and they'll have 4, of course, it's a 0-0, 1-on fun matchup, for here. I might be going like something where I'm getting a post behind this free safety right here, and then I'm going to get a post coming a little bit more shallow, coming underneath. Like this guy might be a 5-step, 5-step post, and this guy might be on a 7 or a 9-step post route to get behind him. And I'm just kind of high-lowing on the safety here. So if he jumps up on this guy, well, now I got, this, touchdown, back behind here. And if he drops back, of course, now I got this guy right here wide open, over the field, and then if these guys, play fast, if I hit that, so this might be my counter punch number 2 to this play. Like if I didn't have this matchup right here, I would come back to something like this concept, in the mid to high red zone area. I would, come across back on this. And then as soon as that happened, if I started seeing these guys bailing, like they got, beat inside, and I see these, and I'm going to clear this up a little bit. If I started seeing, like, I'm getting this movement by my receivers, and then these defensive backs are running fast, they're playing fast, and this safety is also kind of moving that same direction.
Yeah.
Well, now I got, you got DJ Moore screaming across the field with a couple guys on his back. You just you got a little high-low on this guy, so if he drops back to take more, well, then you got the running back in the backfield here. If he flies up, now you got DJ behind him. So that would be my progression, like through this play where this might be this is my core play. Obviously, I'm trying to isolate my best receiving player other than DJ Moore, with all respect to him. Like Colston Loveland, I'm getting my best one-on fun matchup up top here. And as I'm coming through this, all right, that's my immediate on my drop. If I'm not throwing it, I'm hitching back up to throw something back here. And then if I got to scramble, move out of the pocket, well, I got guys moving away to the sideline that if I, take my jab step up and then I'm bailing around, like if this guy, comes screaming off the side here, Now I can get outside the pocket and throw to one of these two guys on the run. Or if I get a rush, like if, let's say, another thing is if I get the defense gives me a different look here. Let me back this up a little bit. Like, let's say Pittsburgh decides, like, hey, their counter punches, I'm going to put pressure on you, and they're going to send this guy in. They're coming hard, off of this side. They got 3 guys coming in this, or they got like some kind of, like a kind of stunt of some sort, where they're sending guys. If you feel the rush, and this kind of gets back to the R4 system, if you see, feel the rush, you throw the rush. So what are your rush routes? Well, if we are clearing these guys out of here, right? My rush route would be DJ coming across or the running back in the backfield. So if these guys are coming, well, he's my, the running back. What is that? Is that Swift? Looks like.
No, it's Manungai.
Manungai. I'm testing his hands. All right, I'm seeing if he's the Scatabo, if he's got better hands. All right, so Manungai, I'm going to trust him, and so he comes out here. Well, you got these 2 guys here. Unless one peels off, that's the only way that they're gonna stop this. But they're in man. Their responsibility is, I got my guy. He's got his guy. This would be the next guy to make a play, and he's playing 12 yards off the ball. So that's that's kind of like building on a pass concept with pass concepts. Like the last like Sunday when I was breaking down film for you guys, like we did. A run play as our core play, and then we built counter punches off of it. This would be like my core play, counter punch within that play, based on how a defense would the percentages of, hey, they're gonna play this. This is what they've been showing. High red zone. That's where your film breakdown during the week, comes in handy. You rep this in practice, and Caleb's got an answer for everything that's on there. If they start bringing more guys, he can keep Manungai in here to pass protect, and then he's still got his rush, his dump off guys, and these guys clear through here. Well, now DJ Moore's got a bigger window inside here, to complete that pass.
Absolutely. J2K Designs, thank you for showing up. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. Good to have you. Big Mike says, we need more of this next season. Bears struggled in the red zone way too much last year. Yes. More touchdowns, right? No more settling for field goals. Let's get the tutties. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, you can let Ben Johnson know that I'm open to be hired.
Coach Chad's available. Ben Johnson,
yes,
if you're watching,
I'm available.
Just leave a comment down below or hit us up.
Yep. Ben Johnson or somebody in the staff, if you're watching, number 1, subscribe to Everything Bear Show.
There you go.
And then reach out to them, and they'll contact me.
And yes, if you guys are liking what you're watching, for sure, you're going to want to subscribe to the channel. Don't miss any shows coming up. I'm sure throughout the season, here and there, we will have Coach Chad on. If I could just get Jarritos.
There we go. Right there.
Yeah, we got to pay some bills around here, Jarritos.
Pay some bills. All right, and here's the next play. All right, so it's in the third quarter. Another red zone opportunity. You're looking at this. Bears are down 21-17. Third quarter. It's another third down play with them at the high red zone. All right, so I mentioned high red zone, low red zone, something in the middle. You got goal line. So coaches will have different things. This is like some questions you can ask in the off season to coaches. High red zone is like, hey, where do they identify that? So if you're given a responsibility or delegated something like, hey, we're playing team Bravo next week. I want you to collect all the high red zone clips for me, and get whatever high red zone clips. Give us a feel for that for the presentation. So you would come in, okay, well, what's high red zone? For the most part, it's like the 25-yard line to probably the 15. And then when you get into the red zone, each coach is a little bit different, but like mine might be like between the 30 and the 20, like that's my high red zone. And then from the 20 to the 5, would be my red zone area, and then 5 and in is my goal line area. So each coach is a little bit different based on their preference. Just get clarification on that. So if you're being an assistant coach, that you'll find that stuff out. So I would say that okay, Bears are in a high red zone in this situation. Pittsburgh again, same. We know that from watching film on them, through the week, and then this, they like to play a lot of single high safety. This guy up here, we saw man free. Well, he played free, and we saw man coverage already before. So for just lining this up, we're thinking, okay, they've shown this where this guy right here, he could be coming off the edge. He could be on him. They might be saying like there might be some kind of like a exchange right here between these two guys on the running back.
Yeah.
And that he's a free defender, number 6. We don't know what's happening here. All right, we got 3 guys. He's definitely giving this a rush look, just based on his alignment. He could be a rush as well. So we
Coming
do know
out from the wide 9.
The wide 9, yeah, exactly.
And then Coach Big Mike says, to give you a little shimmer of hope, he says, according to sources, the Giants are going to need a new coordinator by week 9.
I'll definitely take that job. I don't care where it's at. I'll be Nagy's replacement.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So we're okay. So we're watching this breakdown. All right. Let's just watch the motion. All right. We know he's running through, but something's going to be a little bit different. What happened with that defender as we're motioning through?
The guy who was lined up wide 9.
Well, he's still wide 9, but this is
the corner.
The corner. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So watch the corner.
Yeah, Luther Burden goes all the way across wide, but the corner stopped to the inside receiver.
Inside receiver. Yep, exactly. All right. And I apologize. I had to record this on my phone on this. But now all of a sudden we're like, okay, well, we know they'd like to play man. Something they do this bump. So like in a high red zone, they might be something a little bit different than just straight up man coverage inside the red zone. Right. So they kind of bumped this guy over. So now we're looking at this. All right. So he's got this guy down here.
Yeah.
All right. You're kind of thinking like, okay, if they're playing man, this is what it's going to be. Right here, he's definitely given a rush look now. And his eyeballs, you can kind of see where his helmet, he's looking right at that running back there. So we still got, 4-man pressure, with another floater right here. And then, a free guy. All right, something's a little bit different too about these corners. All right, remember I was talking a little bit about hip angles.
Yeah.
All right, so like based on this, hip angles like for man coverage, they would. Let me back this up here. As these guys are going, they get the pen. So their hip angles are a little bit different. Like they're staying kind of square.
Yeah.
Right. So square hip angles are a good identifier for zone coverage. All right. Okay. So if it's man, that I'm gonna turn my hips like either in like is gonna be like this. If this is the guy here, like my are gonna be inside right here, or I'm gonna if I'm lined up outside. Let me hit reset here. Let me clear this out. So if this guy was playing out, or let's go this guy right here. So if he's playing outside leverage on this receiver, this would be my man kind of hip angle. If I was playing outside, that's outside, inside of him, which on the bottom here, and my hip angle is turned towards the side. If I'm turned towards the sideline, like that's a good man indicator, right? But these guys are a little bit different. They're playing squared up.
They're squared up.
They're squared up. All right. Now let's kind of go back and create our grid on these guys. All right. So the hard deck. Let's find out where they're at here. So 7 yards from here, we're looking at about probably about the 18-yard line here.
Yes, sir.
Coming right across through here. Oop, I went a little bit too far. So let's go this half the distance there. Coming up, we're coming all the way across to about somewhere right around there, and we're coming back inside. So that's our run box.
Yep.
We got our line of center right on the hash right here.
Yep.
All right, so coming through here. So how many? And we know that this guy, he's definitely given a rush. These guys are giving rush looks. All right, so how many guys do we have over here? So we got a one on fun.
Yep, over there.
Over on this side.
And then a
over
4
here
on 3.
Yep, and we got a fourth guy. So actually we're -1 because we got 1, 2, 3, and they got 1, 2, 3, and a fourth guy. But inside the box, he's a little bit outside, but we're gonna count him in. So 4, 5, 6, 6 on 6. We got 0. So ideally, I might want to think about maybe looking at this matchup right here.
Sure.
Initially, that's where I'm going to be looking. But what Pittsburgh does in the high red zone, they play a cover 3 in their high red zone. All right. So what is a cover 3 compared to man? Remember I told you like identifying their hip angles, so they're square.
Yeah.
So they got deep third, like cover 3.
Yeah.
They got deep thirds.
Yeah.
All right. They're splitting the field into thirds. They're coming underneath here. He's got the flat. He's got the hook to curl area right through here. Yeah. He's got a hook to curl area right here, and he's got the flat.
Yeah.
Right. And the weakness of cover 3 are right down the seam. So it's like these are the windows. Yeah, that I would want to attack on that. Yeah. All right, with throwing a ball on this play. Okay. Did I lose anybody?
No, sir. I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right, so Caleb drops back. All right, we're looking at all these secondary guys. They do exactly what we thought. Right,
yeah,
their first movement, the corners, their first movement backwards. Right, they're in a cover 3. You can see that he's bailing out.
Yeah,
he's bailing out. He's got deep third. He's out to the flat. He's out to the flat. He's in a hook to curl area. He's in a hook to curl area. And where was our windows of for completion?
Down the seams.
We're down the seam. So it's here and here. So it's either this area or this area here. And this guy is going to be wrong no matter what he decides. And so that's where Caleb's eyes are. He's using his laser vision through here. He's watching that guy right there. If you go here, I'm throwing the ball here. If you come here, I'm throwing the ball over here. All right, clear this out and play this through. All right, they drop into deep third. Bears are running verticals out of a trips formation. That guy gave it away. Like as soon as he's backpedaling, he's leaning.
Yeah.
Caleb's already, watching that guy. And as soon as he sees that little twitch.
Yeah.
You see this guy, you see his hips kind of turn a little bit to run this way.
He wanted to follow Rome.
What can't he cover?
The other seam.
He can't cover the other seam. So as soon as he sees that, Caleb's got his arm ready to go. And as a receiver coach, when I coach receivers, if I got a defender next to me, if I'm even, I'm leaving. I'm taking off right there. If I'm even, I'm leaving. If he's dropping, like I'm stopping. I mean, it's like, so let's play this out. And another thing that they do, like on the last play, these bottom 2 receivers that help out the quarterback to kind of create good windows. And I got to give credit to either the players or the coach that is teaching them this. They're running spray techniques as well on the bottom here. So, right. So he's running a spray. He's running to the outside shoulder, getting this guy to widen a little bit here. I think DJ Moore here, he's running to the outside to get this guy to widen as much as possible. Even if they're in the zone, this guy, when he comes back, he's a little bit wider and creates a much bigger area to throw the ball.
Sure.
Yep. So we look at this. Safety just turns his hips just subtly. And there's DJ Moore with nobody really around him.
Nope. like Big Mike said, a piss missile to DJ. Yeah, that's excellent.
All right. And we
What do you do? Okay, so let me if you're that safety, how do you defend that? You're screwed. Do you just try to stay in the middle and then make your break when you see the quarterback cock his arm back? I don't.
Yeah, and this kind of goes into that's an excellent question, because like if I'm playing safety, or I have a son playing safety, or a daughter playing, it's like some girls are playing like youth sports and stuff. Actually coach some high school girls too as well. If they're playing safety here, they have to be in the head of that quarterback and that player. So you think back, there was an interview with Bill Belichick and Ed Reed, if you remember, with Peyton Manning. Like when he dropped back, Peyton Manning, they had a concept where they'd like to throw the one-on-fun matchup on the left sideline, and Ed Reed ran one way, and then he did a speed turn and he came back. So that would be something like in this game film if I was a safety coach, and this guy was this free safety was a student of a really strong student of the game.
Yeah.
Like if I'm getting this, like this is like one of the Bears like high red zone kind of concepts, like I might be leaning this way to get Caleb to release the ball as fast as I can. And then I'm flipping my hips and I'm speed turning back this way to get into interception area. And Ed Reed did it against Peyton Manning. I don't have the clip of that, but that would be like a technique that I would teach film study if I'm on an island like this. Might be something that I would look at, like doing, like, practicing in a game, like working on my speed turns and stuff. Now, as an offensive coach, like that's hard to put, or as a defense coach, that's hard to put on that safety here.
Sure.
Like, as my job as an offensive coach, a coordinator, a play caller, is to put, guys in conflict. Like no matter what, he's going to be wrong. Like in the previous play, number 6, like no matter what he does, he's going to be wrong. So it's like, either you got, you're telling the defensive player, like, you got to break your defensive rules or your responsibility in order to cover that play, but then something else works behind them, or, either to the side of them or behind them, and you get a high-low mix running across, you put them in man conflict. Do they play?
And you're talking about a Hall of Fame safety who has, like you said, who has the experience to bait a quarterback into doing that.
Yeah, and Ed Reed, like when you talk to him, he was saying that he was like, I knew this was one of their core concepts, and he intentionally played it wrong because he knew that they were going to play them later in the playoffs. And that just goes to like his mindset. He's like, hey, like I'm going to lose the battle, this week, in week 7, 8, 9, whatever it is, just so I can win the war at the end of the season, send their butts home, and I'm playing in the Super Bowl. That's just his mindset, the way he attacks it, uses it, his defensive mindset. That's why he's Ed Reed's a Hall of Famer. He's like, stuff like that he's thinking about the counterpunch like weeks and months in advance, to when it matters most.
Absolutely. J2K says, what I like about this play is if it wasn't cover 3, you've got Loveland one-on-one versus man in the end zone. No way that safety can get to that side. Ben's play call has answers versus man and cover 3. Ben's got all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
Ben knows. The man's a mad scientist. Oh, here we go.
Here it is. Here's the end zone, right? So they're communicating. And of course, whenever you run motion of any sort, even at the NFL level, these guys have to communicate it. And if it's hard for NFL players, it's going to be difficult for college and high school, defenses to like communicate and adjust.
For sure.
All right, so we're looking at this. Komet gets an outside release on the left side there, and we can see all these guys, kind of like what we identified. Like he's got deep third. All right, and we know that the corner over here is a deep third. All right, he's playing the flat. Right, so he's going anything short underneath here. He's got hook to curl. And then there's another defender that's over here that's going out to the flat, and we got a 4-man rush, and we got 6 actually protecting here with the running back. So we get a nice little, real safe, real comfortable pocket for Caleb to throw the ball.
Yeah.
All right, and so let's look at Caleb's eyes. Where is his eyeballs at? You can see the face mask where it's looking at.
Is he staring that safety down?
He is staring him down. He is looking like, all right, tell me what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Right. He's got a square hip angle. Right. So he's playing down. He's rocket going backwards, but he's got square. Just give me a subtle hint. Are you gonna open up this way, or are you gonna open up that way, or open up this way? Because I'm either throwing to 15 here, coming across, or I'm throwing a DJ, right up the seam here. Either way.
Because either way, you're gonna be wrong.
He's wrong. Either way. Right, and let's look at that moment when Caleb gets ready. So he's looking at him. He's got his foot in the ground, and he's moving his arm. You can see this guy.
He starts to strafe over just right there.
Yeah, he's got a lean right here. He's leaning this way. He sees this guy. He's taking the eye candy coming across.
Yes, that's what that is. That's eye candy.
It's all eye candy.
Roma Dunze flashing in front of you. Yeah, I'm gonna go with them.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
And you can see with Caleb, he puts his foot in the ground, and that arm is coming back. You can see right in that that's all it is. It's just that subtle movement, and all of a sudden, boom, and you're looking at. You don't even see the other corner. I mean, he's barely on screen right there.
Yeah, he's busy over there.
And you think about like this. This is why like coaching. I know some people have the mindset that, hey, players make the difference, and they do. Players make the difference in the game, like they understand it. But coaches that set players up for success, this is what happens when you get.
That's what it looks like. Yes, that's what that's supposed to look like.
Yep, and even right here, I mean, even though this guy ran through here, I mean, if he puts the ball right up in here, he might be able to beat him on the inside.
Sure.
Just based on talent, talent alone, he might. Or you got Komet over here. This guy's playing back, and all of a sudden he turns his hips this way, and Komet's fading out this way. Well, now you got a slot, like you got a fade, back shoulder throw, kind of like what Rodgers did a lot with like Jordy Nelson and the other Packer receivers and stuff. Like that's where this guy, if he turns his hip angle this way, well, now you put the ball on the outside there, and that's Rodgers made his career in Green Bay throwing those kind of balls, and Caleb's starting to make those kind of throws too. So I mean, there's different techniques. You practice certain things. You get coaches that give you this. Makes DJ money. That makes a receiver money. That makes running backs that get big holes, big gaps. You're making coaches are making them money. So I'll play this all the way through here. And these are third down calls.
Yeah, this one was a third down. Yeah. He went for the dagger.
Yep. He bit on the eye candy. And now the Bears have the lead.
As DJ throws that ball out into the crowd. I think he did with his first touchdown too, because he had a touchdown earlier in this game, and he gave the ball away to the crowd. So the second one, he did the same thing. I'm glad that we look at examples like this, because a lot of the contention, even still, I'm trying to see if I could pull up the clip, because I believe it was today, Mark Slureth, if I'm saying his last name correctly, was talking bad about our quarterback. And I want to pull up the clip because I don't want to speak for the man. I'm going to let his voice speak for himself. But, he puts guys like Jaden Daniels and Kyler Murray. He puts these guys above Caleb. And it's like, what world do you live in, number one? And number two, like with the examples that you just showed, gives us a good indication that, yes, Caleb can run an offense and play in rhythm. It doesn't always have to be hero ball. That's all everybody associates with Caleb is, just hero ball. And he runs out of the pocket and then plays backyard football. Like, no. You just showed two perfect examples in one game of him, actually running the offense how Ben wants it.
Yep.
And like you said, Ben and his coaching staff set it up in a ways where, I don't want to say, because playing quarterback in the NFL is probably never easy, but make it easier on him to go, drop back, do your footwork, stare at that safety, and just wait for him to. He's going to tell you which way to throw the ball,
or what window to throw the ball in. Like we saw number 6. Like, is it going to be the first window if he sits where he is, or if he blitzes? Then you got DJ screaming across, or if it's the second window coming through there. But I don't. I didn't see the clip at all, but I totally agree with that. Is that he might be just making the comment because is he still part of the 4-letter network? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Because David Kaplan was trying to text him.
Yeah, with that in mind, all right, they're instructed to make crazy comments and take a strong, objectionable opinion on something and run with it. So, but I would say Caleb, I can see where he can make the comparison between Murray and Jaden because they're kind of like the dual threat quarterbacks. I say Kyler Murray, like his off script, like he's a very good off script quarterback, which makes him very dangerous, especially with the Vikings. And you got like Justin Jefferson and Addison and who else went there? There was another guy that I can't think of. Anyways, so he's a good off-script guy, which defensively, like that's one of those guys like a Michael Vick concept where you want to contain him in the pocket, keep him in there, and get big tall guys throw their hands up in the air. So that you want to game plan that in there. Then you got Jaden Daniels, which he's going to be, he was injured a lot last year. He takes a lot of hits, so you want to you don't want to take away his athleticism, but he can throw the ball. He can throw on time. He can throw on script. So he's kind of like, the next one up, like in the mold of Caleb. High draft pick, really smart guy, dual threat quarterback. I can see that comparison. Caleb, it's coaching. You think about that. Ben Johnson, he's the difference between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. Throwing on script, getting that feedback, that instruction, from the quarterback coach, from the other assistants, the organization, the relationship that's built in there. Dan Quinn, defensive minded guy. They had Cliff Clinsbury was their coordinator last year, fired him. So you just got rid of a guy that had a relationship with the quarterback and was learning underneath him, had a MVP caliber year, made it to the NFC Championship game 2 years ago, his rookie year, and then now he's got to start all over. So, Schlereth, 4-letter network. I'm gonna let that one slide because I'm sure he's saying it just to say it.
I used to like him.
Yeah.
I respected his opinion, and now I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and him on like those Denver offensive lines. I mean, when they were running that wide zone with Alex Gibbs, he's since passed away a few years ago, but he was that offensive line, zone run, that wide zone guy.
Yeah.
Like Schlereth and all that, the Broncos line with Terrell Davis was going for 2,000 plus every single year. I mean, I love watching that film. I love watching that stuff. Even though I'm not a Broncos fan, my little brother is. He loves the Broncos. He even named his son Denver. But
there you go. Okay.
Yeah. So like that team, like that Shanahan system.
That Shanahan system had like 3 running backs in a row. Mm-hmm. Who was the other guy? Portis
was another one. Yeah. Then you had Terrell Davis. You had who else? There was like a lot of like even unknown guys would show up.
I was going to say anybody who played halfback for them. That system with the offensive line was so good.
Was Alandis Gary? Was he back then?
Probably.
But like those kind of athletes. Even when he was in Washington, you got Steven Davis, and who else? There was another guy. Was it Albert something? Albert Morris. was another guy. And, you know, guys you can plug and play. Arian Foster was another guy with the Texans back in the day with Kubiak when he took the system down to here in Houston.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love, like, Schlereth. Love watching him play, studying him. Like, yeah.
Well, speak of the devil, let's hear him talk.
Is it coming up? It's not on screen.
He's Kyler Murray with more hype.
Oh, I didn't hear any of that. I didn't see the clip. It didn't show up. No audio.
Oh, no. All right, hold on.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Hold on. Unbelievable.
Do I need to get out of my screen share?
Maybe.
Stop screen. There. I'm out. My screen's off.
All right. I'll put mine on.
Hopefully that helps.
All right. Here we go. Try this again.
So at this particular point in time, Caleb Williams isn't a good quarterback. If you were ranking that class, you'd put Jaden Daniels ahead of him. You put Drake May ahead of him. I'd put Bo Nix ahead of him. So at this particular point in time, Caleb Williams isn't a good quarterback. If you were ranking that class, you'd put Jaden Daniels ahead of him. You put Drake May ahead of him. I'd put Bo Nix ahead of him. You know, this generational talent who's supposed to be a great quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's a great playmaker. And when it comes to off-schedule football, the guy is probably about as good as it gets. He is Kyler Murray with more height.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I say, Cap. Oh my God.
Wow. He must not have gotten an interview request. Like, the Bears must have ticked him off or something for him to say something like that.
I just like some of the things that he says. So, number one, ranking the quarterbacks. There's no way you would take Jaden Daniels over Caleb. There's no way. Drake May, I'll give you that one. Okay, and that's a toss-up because me personally, I know this might be a little biased. I'm not taking Drake May over Caleb. I am perfect. I'm going to pick Caleb every time over Drake May. I'm just gonna. Who's the other one? Bo Nix too. So Bo Nix was also having a great year, but with his injury, kind of derailed their whole playoff run. But I'm also not picking Bo Nix over Caleb for my team. If I had to pick which one I want to quarterback my franchise, it's still Caleb.
Yep.
Then to say he's not a good quarterback, but he's a great playmaker, where on that string does great quarterback play end and being a great playmaker begin? Walk me through this, Mark.
Yeah. Like what's it? You'd almost have to ask for his definition of like what that difference is, because I mean, if you're a great playmaker at the quarterback position, playing quarterback also depends on the system that you're in.
Sure.
When you think about it, like, you know, was Peyton Manning then a great quarterback but not a great playmaker?
Right.
You know, like playmaking, you know, is up in here too. Like,
Right.
you can use your legs, your arm, and your brain.
Yeah.
Like, as far as reading and dissecting things, I mean, that's the whole package. That's a whole package kind of a deal. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are in that mold. Like Drake May, he can still run. He kind of reminds me of how Ben Roethlisberger kind of started off with the Steelers. Like Drake May's kind of like in that mold, and plus it fits that system. It fits what New England wants to do. It's like the cold weather, the big body guys, to take some shots, get that lumbering, few yards. Same with Josh Allen. But you get like Caleb. I mean, he can run in the cold. I mean, he's a threat. But to say like Jaden Daniels is better than him, like Jaden and Caleb are kind of like the same type of quarterback. Like I don't understand like how he says like Jaden's like the better quarterback, but Caleb's not.
Because he had that one good year, and they made it to the NFC Championship. But they finished 5-12 last season, and they stunk. He looked awful. So J2K says so much engagement farming these days. He knows he's wrong, but he says this just to get clicks. Absolutely. I mean, he got the whole city of Chicago in an uproar. And Learn, I see you, Learn. Good. I haven't seen you in the last couple shows, man. I need more short content. You've been great at giving me funny shorts to make. Where you been, brother? Where you been? Big Mike says, I would have taken May at the beginning of last season, but by the end of the year, I was all in on Caleb. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just because, again, we're splitting hairs here between, a great playmaker, but not a good quarterback. What?
I don't get that. But you can't go. I don't think you can go wrong with any one of those four quarterbacks. But like any one of them is a franchise guy. They each have their strength. Caleb, Jaden, and Bo are the same quarterbacks. Like you could swap them out for each one. I guarantee you, if Jaden was in Chicago, he would be, Schlereth would probably say the same thing. If, Caleb went to Washington, was the NFC Championship game, like, would it be flip-flop then?
Yo, what's up, Toast? AC Adam in the building. What's up, AC Adam? Bear down, baby, and Learn. I love you, Ezra, but I'm not getting into your shorts, bro. J2K says, yo, AC Adam, what's up? Learn was driving tonight. Yes. They carpool. They come in bunches. And I always say, somebody drove. Somebody had to go around, pick everybody up. Learn drove around, picked up AC Adam, picked up Toast. What's up, everybody? Good evening. Good evening. You guys showed up late. You guys are going to have to wait till the video's done publishing to go back to the first hour of the show where Coach Chad broke down a couple really good plays that, proved that Caleb Williams can run an offense the way Ben Johnson says. Everybody saying, oh, Caleb, he could only do stuff outside the pocket and doing improv stuff. Like, well, no, tonight we showed a perfect example of Caleb running the system Ben Johnson wants it to. The 5 or 7 step drop, read your reads, read your keys, throw the damn ball. Touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. And in critical third down touchdowns.
Yeah, big time, right? That second one was to take the lead there. Mm-hmm. 11 watching and 11 likes. Great. I love hearing it. Thank you, boys, so much. And again, if anybody's new to the channel, we're this close to 300 subs, guys. We're doing it. And it's because of you guys showing up, hitting the chats, keeping the show rolling. We love it. So if you're new and you want to be part of all this shenanigans with Learn and Big Mike and AC Adam, everybody, even Vinny shows up. Vinny will show up a little bit later. He's got a longer drive. He's coming from Wisconsin.
Oof.
But he'll show up. But yeah, we appreciate it if you guys do. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, all that good stuff. Never miss one of these crazy shows. And now, Chad's he's a regular now. That's it. I got to put him on payroll. I got to talk to the finance lady.
Yep. Got to fill up my W-2.
Again, Jarritos. Okay. Don't forget Jarritos. Everything Bears. Everything Bears show. There's no better way to quench your thirst than an ice cold Jarritos. Ding. You know what? They go really great with tacos. Okay, you want to wash down a nice spicy taco, wash it down with some Jarritos.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, those are great, especially breakfast tacos down here. Like, oh, like there's like a lot of good breakfast tacos down here, and you eat like
in Texas.
4 or 5 of them.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm right in the heart of it in South Central Texas. Like,
yeah, but
breakfast tacos are the thing.
Probably like amazing Mexican food in Texas, man. I'm jealous because I love Mexican food. Love it.
Yeah, so good. Like there's one near me in Luling that we just recently went to. It's Hermanos. Oh, they're only open from 7 a.m. until 3, but they're
one of those type of
places.
They are
one of those like quality food, and it's like a lot of it. Like you get a good bang for your buck.
That's how you know it's good. I've known some restaurants to do that. The food is just premium food because they sell out. So they're just like, we close at 2 and make it here before 2 or we're gone.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of barbecue places are like that too. As soon as the beef is gone, we shut down.
J2K says, if you guys get time, I'd love to see some breakdowns on what the running back coach Eric Stutzville will bring us. Ooh, so that means watching some Miami run game tape, huh? Okay.
Yeah, Miami.
Ben mentioned him.
I'll say this, like Miami, I did follow them a little bit, like the last 2 years. Like Mike, the head coach's name was it Mike McDaniel?
Yep, that's him.
It's in San Diego, in Los Angeles with Chargers now. His wrinkles like to that run game. Oh my gosh! Like that was like I was in like coaching film study heaven, like watching some of that stuff with the different like counters and pulling guys and getting receivers involved in the run game and moving guys like Achan and stuff like that. That is a remarkable film. Like, so if, with the Bears having him on board and understanding that, like that's a good hire. That's a good hire.
Absolutely. And Big Mike says, I sell Jarritos if y'all need a hookup. You do? Well, can you tell them that you know about a Bear show that would love a sponsor that will sell screen space to put their logo and drink them during every 2 hours show twice a week, Wednesday night and Sunday mornings? Big Mike, if you could make this happen. Let's see, the big baller. Thank you for showing up. Good evening, sir. He says, I'm taking Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, head coach, QB duo over any other NFL team. You know what? Wedge and I ran this exercise, not the combo, but we did the exercise of quarterback. Let's take all 32 quarterbacks, or at least minus Caleb, 31, and we went down them all the NFL starting QBs of, would you take this quarterback over Caleb? And I was only willing to take 3.
Well, who are the 3 that stood out?
Matt Stafford.
Okay.
Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Right. Literally.
Is this just for one season? I'm assuming.
Wow. I don't think we thought it all the way through like that. No, like forever. Quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we named them all and went through them all, and I'm like, nope. Oh God, learn.
I can see Josh in Chicago, Josh Allen, coming from the University of Wyoming, cold weather guy kind of guy. Like he kind of says, screams bear like a Bears quarterback.
Sure,
big physical guy, big physical like that, guy like that. I could see maybe taking Josh Allen over Caleb.
Learn says that. Would you
bring some of those McDaniel tricks? Yeah,
I was talking about Studsville. Yeah,
you think about that with the way McDaniels ran the Miami offense, and they put 70 up on the Broncos. Xavier Thomas, there's maybe that's a Studsville guy. He looked at him and said, hey, he's a receiver. I know you need depth there, but I could use him in the run game.
Sure.
You know, get him on some fast end arounds like Tyreek Hill, getting him out on the edge.
Here we go. Learns busting my balls. Here we go. Stafford's 100. Seriously, shit's sake, Ezra. I understand he's 100 years old, but can you imagine him in Ben Johnson's offense? Not to say that Caleb can't do the same shit, because again, Wedge thinks Caleb's thrown 5,000. I got him throwing like 4,700.
When did Stafford go from get traded from Detroit to the Rams, from the Lions to Rams? Like, wasn't Ben Johnson there, or was that just before Campbell and Johnson got there?
That's a good question, because it had to have been at least 4 years ago, because Goff was the quarterback with
close in that window. Like, they almost crossed paths. It almost happened where Ben Johnson almost had Stafford.
Now you make a good case here, Learn, because he's saying I'd take Caleb over Allen, even if Caleb wasn't allowed to scramble. But and so with Josh Allen, you'd make a case, because I think probably to Coach's point, is this just 1 year, or is this like your permanent quarterback going forward? Because now if the exercise was, oh no, he's now your guy going forward, then I wouldn't want Josh Allen. I just keep me with Caleb over all of them then at this point.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to make your cases for Drake May or Bo Nix,
Jaden Daniels when healthy,
like these young quarterbacks, then you make your case. But with that quarterback class that came out with Caleb, we're good. We're good. Caleb's the dude. You're about to find out.
And there's, speaking of quarterbacks, I mean, this next year's draft, I started looking a little bit at it. There are going to be some studs in that draft, coming out. Like, the NFL quarterback position is going to have some talents.
Really? Nice.
Across
Okay.
the board, yeah. And for me personally, I'm thinking there might be 4 Hall of Famers in that class.
In this next draft class?
In this next draft, yeah. I'm comparing it to that 1984 class with Elway and Marino. Jim Kelly was in that one. Who else was in that one? There was another quarterback that was up there too. Well, and I'll tell you this, is that if I think of it later, I'll mention that quarterback. But there was one that was not drafted that would have been drafted that year, but he decided to go to the CFL, the Canadian Football League, was Warren Moon. Warren Moon would have been part of that draft.
Oh, wow.
As well. So this next draft, I'm calling four Hall of Fame quarterbacks in that draft.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bold prediction. You heard it here. Write it down. Keep the receipts.
Yep.
Coach Chad said it here first. So J2K actually says, okay, Stafford was traded in 2021. And Ben was quality control back then in 2019. So Ben did work with Stafford.
Had a relationship with him. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying that's a one-off. But for me personally, I just want to stay put with our quarterback. We finally found a guy, paired him up with a badass head coach / OC. I change nothing now. That's it. Can we, on Twitter, I was a troll today because a lot of people are talking about, and if Wedge were here, he would definitely say this because we have heard this all off season. All the free agents. Oh, he'd be a great fit in Chicago. Oh, it's a great fit in Chicago. Literally everybody. So everybody's talking about James Taylor. What's his name? The running back. Jonathan Taylor, the running back from Indy.
Yep.
Oh, rumors, Bears. And you know what I'm typing in everybody's comments? Cool, how many sacks is he going to get us? Not worried about it. We don't need running backs. Yeah. We need some defensive line, please, for the love of God. Yeah. So cool. How many sacks can he get us? Can he get us 10, 12 sacks? What do you think?
You never know.
With the right,
put me in, coach. Put me in
with the right coaching, because they're coaching up the guys different this year. Oh my gosh. Ben Johnson worked with Stafford in 1920, but Ben took over play calling in 22. Boy, did he just take off like a rocket. Well, okay, their first season. They still were good, but they didn't reach the heights that they did going into year 2. And then ultimately, the third year, their offense was absolutely out of control. Me and Wedge like to follow that same timeline from what we saw from Ben Johnson and Caleb last season, expect to see that kind of same growth into year 2. Mm-hmm. And then by year 3, forget about it.
Yep.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Sky's the limit that, from there, years 3 and 4 and even 5, I would be disappointed if the Bears weren't in a Super Bowl. I'm not going to say win it, but if they were not in a Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons, I would say it's a little bit of a disappointment. As long as there's a steady progression.
Yeah.
You don't want to all of a sudden NFC Championship game, kind of like what the Packers did with LaFleur and Rodgers for 3 years in a row, making it that far, but not getting over the hump. That would be disappointing.
Absolutely. J2K says, even if Stafford and Josh Allen are better than Caleb right now, Caleb is going into year 3. I'll take that future over right now any day. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, I guess for me, we would have to set the state. Is it for, like we said, one season, a career, or one game? How would you rank them out? Who would you want, being that field general for you?
Yeah,
in that spot.
I think the exercise probably best served as from here on out.
Yeah,
from this point forward,
wherever their career ends, that's what you get. That's what you got it for.
Lauren says Booker's going for 12 to 14 sacks this year. I certainly hope so. I'll be happy with 10, honestly. If him and Montez can get 10, I'll be all right. Toast says exactly. He is a is he a willing two-way player? Yeah.
Deion Sanders, Travis Hunter.
Oh my God! Yeah, this one Brown. Too. Why not bring LeBron in? Big Mike says LeBum would be a great fit in Chicago. Thank God the Bears didn't get in on that.
Tight end, defensive end kind of body. He can move.
I know, 6'8", 300 pounds, and is a freak athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The end. Sign him up. I'm not a fan of LeBron though. Toast says we need a pass rush bad. Yeah. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Learn says we have a great pass rush, but then he backs it up and says because what we really needed was to get healthy. So there is that.
Yeah.
But what? Okay, how many sacks is Dio Adengbo gonna get? Learn. What's your futures on that? How many sacks is Dio gonna get? 5, 6? Will he stay healthy all season? I don't think our pass rush is that great. 7. You say 7? 7, Learn. Is that acceptable for the money we paid him? J2K said, when's the last time any Bears fans talk Super Bowl? What a great time to be a Bears fan. It is. I know. It's very exciting. And we are talking. With me and Wedge have the contention that the window's open now, baby. The window's open.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think going back to what I know, Wedge had mentioned, I had asked, what would be a successful Bears season this next year, where we were doing the how many wins would they have, 10, 11, 13, so we were kind of all over the spectrum there. And Wedge brought up a good point, is that it's making it to the playoffs again, getting back-to-back seasons, getting in there and being consistent, because once you get there a second time, all right, now we know we can get there, and it's improving on that, progressing through the playoff ladder.
Yes.
And I think that was a really good point, and I think that would be a huge success for the Bears to get back again. And if you can, maybe play in a championship game, and then it's 50-50. And if you're healthy, and you got your pass rush does develop, and these rookies Thieneman, at the safety position, he's comes into his own the back half of the season. You never know what can happen.
Correct. Yeah. Jay Grizz in the building. Hold on, I'll get right to you, Jay Grizz. Learn says he was injured all year. People act like he failed. I wouldn't be surprised to see 9. Well, it wasn't just so much that. 'Cause I'll just speak for me, because I do act like he failed. Because the sample size that we did see wasn't good. We got to see him healthy and out there just standing up his offensive lineman and leaning against them and doing nothing. Got creating pressure, no TFLs. It's like it's just the sample size that we saw wasn't good. So I'm not super excited to see, we get him back again, because we missed so much when he was on the field. That's just me. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears kind of do make a move, either right after the preseason games, like we sign a vet and bring them in. Don't be shocked. And then definitely don't be shocked if by the trade deadline come week 8 that if we didn't sign somebody after the preseason by week 1, don't be shocked because Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen might want to see what we have and see it. And if the performance isn't there by the trade deadline, we will be bringing somebody in.
Yeah, get the guys in. When you get them into camp, get them into camp, see what they can do, and usually probably give them about a week or two and get a game under their belt and see who's healthy. And yeah, I could see that happening where you're making a deal, like right at the end of preseason.
Yeah. J2K says get to the NFC Championship game. Rams Seattle will be tough to beat, but I'll call that a winning season. Oh, yeah, NFC Championship. Yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. I personally I want to see us win the North again and, punch our ticket and get into the playoffs. To me, I think that's a successful season. We're owning the North, we're punching our ticket into the dance, and we're getting there. I guess depending on how the game shapes up and how we lose, I could either call it a moral victory or we looked ridiculous out there. We are awful. You
don't want it to be you don't want to be like the Vikings where you have this 2 years ago with Sam Darnold, you have a 13-14 win season, you crap out in the playoffs, and then the following year, all of a sudden you're a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 win team. You come back down to earth. You don't want that bouncing back. You want to, like you said, with the Bears, you want to have that, hey, prove that last year wasn't a fluke, get back to the playoffs and get your opportunity to, get these young athletes that you have in there, get them to experience, get them playoff experience, because regular season playoffs, I mean, it's two different animals. It's a winner go home kind of a thing.
Yep. And these next two comments kind of work together a little bit. I love talking about this. So Learn says it's fine to bring in an inexpensive vet. I'm just saying he's just against giving up draft picks or losing cost control and paying QB money for D linemen. So correct. I don't want to give up any draft capital either. Sign one of these vets who are free agents right now for the low and just have him come in as like a specialist. As Von Miller, let's say. Yeah, you're going to come in on passing.
Davian Clowney is looking for a job, and he produced
Clowney
in Dallas.
Too. I would say Clowney.
I watched him play, and he still has stuff in the tank, and he's a guy that can get you a 7 to 10, depending on how much you play him. He'll get you 7 to 10 sacks.
And then that ties in to what Big Mike says here, because at the end of the season, as long as we don't commit any big money to anybody. After this season, $100 million is freed up in salary cap on defensive players alone. So if you want to cut them all, just cut your losses. Actually, there are no losses. Cut them and then take that $100 million and just reconstruct the defensive side of the ball. Have at it. You go right at it. Go right to it. I can't wait. But I'm also. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you want to use some of that money for Caleb, get him an extension right away.
So you got to save some money for Caleb because he's going to get paid too, and you'd probably want to pay him at the end of this season, not next, when we do go on a real deep playoff run. He is throwing for close to 5,000 yards. Then you're going to be like, shit, we should have signed him sooner. Wedge says it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and then. It's going to be between, is it 50 million or is it 70 million?
There was down here in Houston about 3 hours to my east, CJ Stroud said he wants his next contract to be $60 million a year.
Yeah. Okay.
60.
Okay.
Like it's just crazy how much money these guys are making.
With that performance he did in the playoffs, he should be ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just, what's the word? Imploded. He imploded in that playoff game because I was expecting big things from the Texans with that defense that they have. I was like, man, and Stroud for the most part is a very good quarterback. Very good.
I think he's a great quarterback. $60 million though. I don't know about that.
He ain't that good.
Something that changed for him, and I look at primarily at the offensive side of the ball, but when I think it was Slowick went from, they fired him after CJ's first year or two. Slowick went to Miami to be the pass game coordinator. Now he's a coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. They brought in, I can't remember the guy's name, but they went to more, rather than that wide zone scheme, they were using Joe Mixon to more of a power run team. So it kind of changed up like how CJ, like his ability, like at the Ohio State where he's moving the ball, they're like getting the ball in the perimeter. He's got like wider open spaces. Like he's playing more like that traditional quarterback position, like in the pocket, like, and he could do it. I just don't know if he's $60 million. Like if that's the perfect matchup, between the two, like hopefully they come to some sort of compromise in between there. But for what they're asking him to do to the money, I don't see I don't see the value there.
Is he holding out?
Not yet, but his contract is up at the end of the year. So they probably want to get him locked up so he's not done and then out the door somewhere else because somebody will probably pay him. But I don't know with this whole quarterback draft class is coming in. That's another thing is that you want to get guys locked in. Like if you got a franchise guy now, lock them in now, or kick them to the curb and then get one of these top-notch quarterbacks that are coming in next draft. Wow. Reset your payroll to kind of where the Bears are at with Caleb. Like he's still on his rookie contract. Dump all that money into the offensive line and the other positions.
The Texans' defense is too good for them to tank, though. They'll be picking later in the draft. They won't get them.
Though, if anything, if they did become I'm speculating here, so like I have no inside information on it. But if Stroud ended up holding out, like if I'm the Texans, I'm bringing in a veteran guy, hand the ball off to David Montgomery, let him get 1,300 yards rushing and 12 touchdowns. Do that power run scheme, power running with Montgomery and Woody Marks, and just ground and pound and play defense. I think that's going to be Texan ball for the next few years. So
and it helps out your quarterback to have a good
run game, offensive line. I mean, look at Caleb when they invested in the offensive line. I mean, I know. Like we joke around with Jonathan Taylor with, hey, can he? How many sacks is he going to get? But you think about it, like, okay, like Bears, you have a good offense. It's borderline great. It's like, keep feeding that. Like, why mess around with like doing all that defense stuff? Keep your offense great and just be freaking good at it. Like, you got Swift, you got Monungai, but if you let's say hypothetically, you brought in a Jonathan Taylor. I mean, think about how that improves the offense, the home run hitting, the power back, like that just makes your offense even more dynamic than what it is.
It definitely can. And I wouldn't doubt it. However, I think Jonathan Taylor might be getting a little too, 28 years old.
Yeah, he's definitely getting up there. And plus he's on and off injured every now and then. Like last year he stayed healthy for the whole year. So it's kind of like the quarterback game you guys did with, would you keep over Caleb if you had this guy. Right. Jonathan Taylor, I'd take him over a handful of guys, but also do I got him for the rest of his career or one game or one season?
Right.
One of those things.
J2K, all right. He says, I need to head out, but I wanted to say that this was a great show. Love the play breakdown and all the Bears talks. Thanks, Ezra and Coach Chad. Bear down, everybody. Thanks for stopping in, J2K, man. Appreciate you. Have a good night. Yep. However, though, I think the chat will totally agree with me here, is that we won't spend the money on I don't know, running back, but we'll just keep drafting offensive weapons in the draft. Because, again, we here 2 years in a row where we're like, a defensive line. We need a defensive line. And they're like, nope, offensive weapons. Like, and it's like, okay, all right, here we go.
Here we go. Defensive line, Luther Burden. Here you go.
Correct. That's exactly what it was. Defensive line, Dylan Thieneman.
Yep.
Like, all right, I could do a safety because we had big vacancies at safety. So that one made sense. But after that one, it was like, okay, now we're going to go D-line, right? No, center. Okay. Like, all right. So, no, Ben Johnson, he's not done constructing this offense. He probably never will be. He'll always be tinkering with it and drafting a guy. And
it's got to be the right guy. I mean, you look at polls like you guys had mentioned like frequently on the show is high character guy. So it can't just be like you're throwing money pretty much throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like you got to get the right guy in there, the right locker room guy, and then pay that guy money. Otherwise, like what's wrong with drafting and developing your guys? I mean, take that money and like lock players down, lock that offense down for the next 4 years. Then you don't have to worry about it. And then you can just draft and build your team from there.
Yep. Lauren says, but can you imagine if they took the best edge rusher instead of Burden? That would have been bad news. And I think who was the guy who was around? Jared Verse? No, that was for Rome. We took Rome instead of Jared Verse.
Yeah, I was going to say Verse went like what, mid-teens?
Yeah. We took Rome 10.
Mm-hmm.
So he was there. But I don't hate the pick. I like Rome. And again, if Ben Johnson wants to construct this offense to just be a 50 burger every Sunday, I'll sign me up. It's just going to suck when that 50 burger we put up, the other team put up 48. So that's going to be tough.
Yeah. But if you're thinking as a Bears fan, would you rather see a game that's like 6-3 or something that's 50-48?
Well, we saw 6-3 my whole life. I saw 6-3. So I'm ready for 48s to 50.
And that's more that's more fun. You got, the fantasy gurus are all over the place and you're, on the edge of your seat back and forth screaming at your TV that should have drafted a defensive lineman, and then all of a sudden turn around and Burden scores a touchdown
I know.
Roush scores a touchdown.
And that's my guy too. So I am going to be buying a jersey for this season, and that's who I'm buying. I think he might be my favoriteest dark horse, favoriteest bear. I think right now is Luther Burden. I'm buying. I too, just like Ben Johnson, am buying Luther Burden stock.
Ooh,
and so I'm going to buy his jersey and I'm going to wear it on this show. I kind of want the rivalry uniform though. Version of it, but they're not putting it out yet. And Big Mike, I'm still not sold on Rome. There's a lot of doubters out there. I know. He again, foot bones connected to the hand bones. He had a hurt foot. Maybe that was causing him to drop all those balls. But he's going to work on it this offseason, Big Mike. He's going to work on it. And then again, that version of Rome we saw in the first 4 and 5 games, he's coming back. You know what I just did the other day? Because people were like worried about his foot. And like, oh, he's not going to come back the same. So the other day I watch a lot of sports stuff, but I'm watching the career of Michael Jordan. And I didn't realize that in his second year, he also broke a bone in his foot. In his second year. Did that hurt the rest of his career? No. And he's a lot harder. Well, I would say basketball is really hard on the feet. Yeah. Jumping from the free throw lines and dunk contests and getting hard fouled by Patrick Ewing and
the bad boy Detroit Pistons. And you're getting, slammed around, but so
you're right.
So what I'm hearing is that you think Burden will be the greatest wide receiver all time, Hall of Fame, like Michael Jordan, score the most points. Is that what you're thinking?
That's Rome. Rome had the broken foot, not Luther Burden.
Or Rome, like he's
Rome.
He's going to be the Michael
yes.
Jordan wide receiver, surpass Jerry Rice and everything.
He could. He
All
damn
those
well
statistics.
could. And you think about the position he was drafted, 10? Yeah, you better produce. Like, you better be the all-time Bears reception leader, touchdowns and yardage. Yeah. That's a hefty, burden he's got to carry. Burden.
Shouldn't take too much to get past that. Like the list that you guys were going off, about a week and a half ago with like the Bear leading receivers, and like so many were from like the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Like it was just like unreal,
sad.
Like how many you had. Like Alshon Jeffrey was like the highest, more modern wide receiver, and I would not have thought that.
No, me neither. Lawrence says they put a lot of money into the D. They just aren't panic spending because of one bad year riddled with injuries. I agree. And that's why a lot of people who hate on Ryan Poles, because of some of the things he's gotten wrong, I get it. It's an imperfect sport. You don't know.
Yeah.
You're working on a lot of analytics and metrics to try to make the smartest decisions. And I would say that Poles has done more good than bad. So he's good in my book for right now. So. And so I enjoy how bullish he is on the market, to Learn's point. He doesn't overspend. He doesn't panic spend when free agency opens up, and it's like, because that's my favorite NFL news day, is when free agency opens up, because you hear 70 different stories where you're like, oh shit, they moved to there, and oh my god, the Jets are fire sale. It's crazy, right? But the Bears are real quiet because Poles is waiting for the dust to settle, because he's not going to overspend and panic, and I appreciate that, because our previous GM, Ryan Pace, did and would overspend. I mean, he mortgaged our future with the whole Khalil Mack thing. And as much as Khalil Mack balled out while he was here, you saw the end result of how that worked out the following years, especially when you get rid of him. And now you don't have a first-round pick for 3 years. You're in salary cap hell, and you can only sign guys who are, mid-tier, and that's what you get. So Ryan Poles is good.
I think he's doing a great job, like as far as building a team, because you look at successful teams over the last, let's say, 30 years. They've always had a mix of both like drafting and free agents. Like the ones that went extreme all in on the free agents, like so you think back to Dan Snyder when he went all in with like the Redskins when before they became the Commanders. Like you had like Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders, like you had name guys and like a ton of free agent guys, and like you put them all in there. Well, what happened? Like they
were
didn't
terrible.
get to the Super Bowl, like nothing. I mean, there wasn't much. They're at the back half of their careers, but then you look at teams like New England, where they built through the draft, and then they sprinkled in key veterans like Poles. Like you get high quality character guys like with Grady Jarrett and stuff, like some of these guys in the line like Thuney and Jonah Jackson. Like you get these kind of guys in there, and it's like, okay, that changes the culture. And now you bring in like your rookies and kind of get into the defensive side of it. It's like, you don't want to have any knee jerk reactions and like fire sale, get rid of everybody. Like you got to see what these guys can bring, so you know what you can grocery shop for the next year and the year after that, and then say, okay, like we got something here, like, and we're kind of putting him into, okay, either he's a starter, like is he a Pro Bowl, is he a starter, or is he a special teams guy, or is he kind of like in between there, like he hasn't taken that next step up, like he like getting all those grades on those guys. So I think that's very cool that he's doing that. That Poles is doing that. He's being very patient. And it looks very good from the outside looking into a franchise. Like the Bears are starting to turn this around and making this like more sustainable success with being a playoff caliber team.
Absolutely. Big Mike, I'm getting a Santos jersey. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Rome's willing to block, so I'll give him that. He says, do the polls haters think Ben Johnson would go to work for an idiot? Poles has been fantastic. Shit's sake, he's responsible for Caleb and Ben both. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We definitely give Poles his flowers. We judged this dude for taking the Mac trade. That was Ryan Pace. And now we fault him for learning his lesson and not doing that shit again with Crosby. Poles is the man, and he's willing to learn from his mistakes. Yeah, Poles didn't do the Mac trade. That was Ryan Pace. Poles had to come in and clean up that mess. That was my first respect. Was like, yeah, good job finagling people's contracts and trying to keep the team together as best you can with the financial mess. Because they did. They handed him like this shit on a plate and was like, here you go. Can you fix this? Sorry about the last guy, but he did it. He took the job. He worked it out, and look at where we're at now. We're sitting pretty. And they're not done. They're not done building this team yet. So, Big Mike says, I still think about Ditka trading an entire team away for Ricky Williams. Do you remember that? Oh my God.
That was crazy. And then the whole Sports Illustrated picture with Ditka in a wedding tux, and then Ricky Williams in a wedding dress.
Wedding dress, yeah.
Like, what the heck is going on here?
That was a funny cover. He was really stoned for that photo shoot, so
probably,
yeah,
just a little.
Learn says the Bears were
secondhand smoke.
Learn says the Bears were shipwrecked when Poles got there. He rebuilt this whole deal. Yeah, my bad was big. Yeah. Same point though. Trading for DN is a bad move. Yeah, some people are not happy about the Dio Adengbo move. I also too think they might have paid him a little bit more, because then when you look at the edge market at that time he made that deal, it was slim pickings out there for free agent defensive ends, and we needed one. And I don't know, I'm sure they watched their tape. They got scouts who watched free agents tape and see if he was a good fit, and he thought it was gonna be. It's, it happens. Like I said, well, I'm gonna stick with Learn. I like to be, again, sometimes the half glass full guy. Wedge is usually the half glass full guy. I'm the half glass empty. But when it comes to Dio Adengbo, I hope that he is as motivated as he says, and that when he comes back from this injury, he could produce. That's all I want to see. Just be productive. But at the end of the season, you're out of here. Either way.
Have a great season. Help us get a good compensatory pick. There you go.
Bingo.
Get us a compensatory pick.
That's it.
That's it.
And it's better to overpay a little for a good DN than to give up picks and overpay. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. That's the other thing I'm a stickler with. I don't want to give up draft capital. If the whole idea for sustained success is to build through the draft, then you can't make bonehead trades and be trading away your draft stock. You need those picks. And I think again, and Ryan Poles, he's totes that line. So he doesn't make any bonehead moves. Well, he gave up his second for Chase Claypool, but well, I probably owe $1 in the swear jar for saying that name, but it's fine though. I mean, I was excited for the Chase Claypool thing. I really was, because what he was able to do in Pittsburgh, aside from hearing him being a locker room nuisance, thought, oh damn, cool, we got some weaponry here. But he cared more about fashion than he did football, so we learned that. Toast says, what was our record against the NFC North before Ryan Poles hired Ben? Terrible. Probably 0-6. Year in and year out. I'm guessing, and I'm being dramatic is what I'll do. That's what I do here. But yeah, 0-6 every year against the North. Without draft picks, we get no ba-bam, DA! Ba-bam! That was so behind the scenes in the Bears war room during the draft, when they drafted Dylan Thieneman, and I guess Poles probably announced it to the room before the pick was sent in. Ben Johnson looked over at where DA was sitting in the room and pounded his desk and went, ba-bam! Thieneman, DA! We got Thieneman!
Nice. That's definitely going to be a real meme sooner than later.
It's going to be a soundbite on the show. When somebody says something that like is 100% facts, I'm going to hit our soundboard. Ba-bam! Romy says, damn, Wedge shaved.
Yeah.
What's up, Romy?
Although Wedge doesn't have much on top either. So like, I know he wears baseball caps.
So he wears hats mostly. But yeah, Wedge got kind of the same.
He's got a buzz. He's got a buzz cut.
He's got the same look going.
Mm-hmm.
Learn says, coach is a dude. QB is a stud. We've never had it this good. Not in Chicago. No, we are in uncharted waters right now as Bears fans. And I think a lot of fans have a hard time kind of navigating the waters because they've never been there before. Yes, Romy. USA won today, 2-0. All right, nice. If we can just win the cup, it will forever be called soccer. Pace was 16-26 against the NFC North. Thank you, Big Mike.
So he
bam for doing the fact check.
8 years of beating the Vikings, 2-0.
Essentially,
the Vikings 0-4 against the Packers and Lions.
Yeah, essentially. Now there were those years where the Lions. I mean, because the Lions only been good the last 4 years.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, Bears fans are kind of just waiting for like the other shoe to drop. Like I feel like they're like, no, you just wait. We're gonna suck. It's all gonna turn to shit because we did have numerous times actually. So we bring in a new coach, right? And then the Bears have this crazy season. Swear jar warning. Matt Nagy. We went like 13-3. His first season, made to the playoffs, won the North. It was a whole damn thing. And then, like, the next year, we were like, we all fell for it. We were all like, oh, you wait. We were talking all that shit to the Lions fans, Packers fans. Oh, yeah, that's our shit now. And then, like, we took a complete shit the rest of the time Nagy was there. And it was like, oh, well, you know what? We'll just shut up now. Yeah. We'll go back to our corner where we were. And just shut all the way up.
Yeah, and that's where the predictions like with Wedge saying, "Hey, just get back to the playoffs. Like stack that success. Build that consistency. Getting back to the playoffs." And I think that's a great perspective to have. For this next season is stay healthy, develop your defense, get back to the playoffs, and then like next year, like you said, $100 million in the under the cap, like. Now you got hey, what direction is this team, going to take, for the next 3 years to be in their Super Bowl window?
Yeah. I mean, and not to mention too, with the $100 million in cap being freed up, and then also too, I believe, the salary caps are going up again. So that's even more room.
Yep.
Romy says, cheers with the beer mugs. Beer. Toast says, all Ryan P. did was fix the offense and forgot about the D. This is a defensive town. Give me that D. Did you just made me say that out loud? Because I'll read anything on the prompter. Now somebody's going to clip that. That loves to score. Problem solved.
Can you read that last sentence again for me, please?
No, actually. I said it the once. That's enough. I'll probably
I heard you say it right.
I'm going to turn it into a short before anybody else can, just to beat everybody to the punch. So, Toast, it's time now, though. You're talking that 85 stuff, Toast. This is a whole new era now. yes, we were a defensive powerhouse, great linebackers, good defensive lines. That's all we've ever known. But our offense has always sucked. And every Sunday we'd get to see other teams' scoreboards being lit up. And I always wanted that. And now we have the possibility. I don't want to go back, Toast. I don't want to go back.
Don't forget about those Lovie Smith defenses. Those are pretty stacked as well. Like those are
best.
Yeah, great defenses.
Well, and I guess to Toast's point, yeah, those Lovie Smith defenses, they scored points.
Mm-hmm.
Those defenses won us games by scoring touchdowns. But that's a big ask. And that's not the traditional way you win football games.
Yeah, defense and Devin Hester, that was your offense.
Yes.
Because you had Rex Grossman.
God.
Yeah. Would you rather have a great defense and like maybe a good special teamer, maybe a good running back, and Rex Grossman, or would you rather have Caleb, a good offense, and okay defense?
There's this.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Let's see. Big Mike says, my bald spot started taking over, so I went full wedge. Good thing I bought a new Bears hat. Is that why you bought the new Bears hat? But Big Mike, your pictures look like thick, lush, beautiful locks. A bald spot has made you go, you know what? It's all just cut. I would do the same thing. If I had like some balding going on, I would go clean shave. I'd go with the cap. The David Kaplan I'm talking about. Or the Coach Chad. I'm sporting that all day.
Yeah, I was like, probably 96-ish. I started going bald in the back right here. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to beat my baldness before it beats me.
Just ran right to it.
Taking it off. Been taking it off since then. So
isn't that a lot of maintenance, though?
No, actually, it's once a week.
Once a week, you're hitting it with the
a little stubble, and I use a Bic razor. My wife
Bic
got
razor.
I put shaving cream on it and stuff like that, and then shave my face and my head and stuff like that. Just use the mirror and come up
the Heisenberg. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would probably go with the electric shaver myself. I'd be scared of.
Yeah, depends on how fast I need to kind of like today. Today I had the granddaughter's birthday party, or 5-year-old birthday party.
Yeah.
And jumped in the shower and grabbed the electric and took off the top and got a nice little turtle wax kind of going on there.
That's right. Now, is there that? Do you lotion up? Do you lotion it?
Well, I do have I use like an aloe kind of shaving cream, so it kind of heals it a little bit. So like when I start going first class and I'm going with the grain and against all that stuff. Yeah. But I do have some like this lotion that does hydrate it a little bit. So
gotta take care of the skin.
Since moving to Texas, I haven't had to use it as often. Where colder climate back in Green Bay. Wintertime, I had to use it constantly in the wintertime.
But lots of sunscreen in Texas, though.
Yes.
SPF 100.
1,000.
1,000. Let's see. Romy says the Bears are going to outscore to get wins. Yeah, they're gonna have to, unless, of course, again, I don't know if our defense could just be mid, just be ranked 15th. Not asking for anything spectacular. Yeah. Just be mid, guys.
And there's a lot of teams that are in that boat specifically. I mean, you think about, for me, Dallas. Great offense, like one of the top offenses in the league. Last year the defense was crap. It was like the last, but be mediocre. You're talking about a Super Bowl run. Yeah. Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow. I mean, he stays healthy. They got a top 3 caliber offense. Yeah. They started getting some defensive pieces, like they got Dexter Lawrence. And like if they can be in that mid area. So in Bears, I'd probably put them in the same thing. If their young players develop and they get a couple lucky bounces, like good bounces that go their way. They got the top 3 offense as well. So in my opinion, like they could be. So
absolutely, Romy. I seen a guy with tattooed dots his hair. That's one way, I guess. Can you tattoo?
Art class pointillism. Is that the technique? I think it was pointillism.
I would go like with some sacred geometry.
Ooh.
Let's see. Learn says Nagy wasn't a proven play caller. The only question with Ben was leadership and team management, and he answered that on top of being a huge part of selecting personnel. Breathe deep, fellas. This is real. So this was one of the huge things that when we hired him, which I was shocked that he picked us, because it was more so that he could have went anywhere he wanted, but he chose the Bears. Thank goodness he has an affinity for the Chicago Cubs, and he really did believe in Caleb Williams and the roster for what it was, because he was willing to take the job. But the biggest selling point for me was to what Learn said. When we hired Matt Nagy, he was an offensive coordinator in name only when it came out of Kansas City. That was the Andy Reid show. Yes, Nagy was probably learning things, but he was also just making Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid's coffee.
Nagy, and you can also put that's probably why Eric Bieniemy hasn't gotten any head coaching jobs either. Is that he followed Nagy's path with being the offensive coordinator in title, but Andy Reid's kind of like calling the plays there. And granted, like when situations like that happen, I've seen in my 26 plus years of coaching, where like you have a guy in title, but they're kind of putting together, like organizing. So I'm kind of surprised that the management wasn't there, because you are more of the manager for the head coach as far as like putting that all together. But there is something to being a play caller and having that translate to the head coaching position, because once you start calling plays, like you start seeing the game a little bit different, like with things that kind of get like structured. Like we broke down some film and stuff with like how defensive teams move and play. And not saying that Nagy and Bieniemy couldn't do that.
Right.
It's just that they didn't have any live bullets flying past them in the moment, and having to make that split decision. So like you get to being a head coach, and I'll say this about for the Cowboys, like Jimmy Johnson, for example, like he managed the team. He's like, okay, Norv Turner, like you got the offense. Wannstedt, a former Bears coach, you got the defense. It was like, okay, I'm managing the game. So, because, you got to take care of the play clock. You're looking at players, you're looking at situations. You're saying, hey, they changed to this, and you're the extra set of eyes for your coordinators. Where, Nagy and Bieniemy didn't get that opportunity. So I don't blame them as much. Right. I blame more Andy Reid for not, doing that, because who from Andy Reid's tree has, other than John Harbaugh, who is a special teams coordinator, which offensive coach has moved on? I mean, I'm trying to think of one, and I can't right now. Like from Andy Reid's coaching tree, is there an offensive coach that moved up the ladder?
And there's also too, I mean, there's another element, especially to the head coaching position, being able to lead men. So, and that's another thing. And I think was probably, aside from Matt Nagy not being a good play caller, was not a leader of men. Like, he lost that locker room fast, and he just dragged out 2 more seasons with a team that didn't want to have shit to do with him. And it was sad, and we were all here for it, and stop talking about it. We got Ben Johnson now.
You got Ben Johnson now, yep.
Let's see. Learn says, we had a great defense for decades. And where did that get us? It's an offensive league now. It sure is. Sure is. And along with Ben Johnson, which was great to see that he is a leader of men. So he has that quality with him. But he's also like, one thing I always thought the Bears were missing was like a modern offense. Whatever the league was doing, we just couldn't bring in a guy who was doing what the league is doing. And I think Ben Johnson not only has a modern offense, he's like he's a trendsetter. Like, he's going to take what he took from McVay and the 13 personnel, and I promise you he's going to morph it into something else. Mm-hmm. I promise. Mike says, I'd rather be bald than bald. I look like a mini Chad now. Hey, you're rubbing off on the guys. It's great.
There you go. Yep. My fan tree is expanding.
So that's it. You beat me to it. I was going to say.
Oh, you were.
Well, copying is the greatest form of flattery.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Imitation. Yes.
Learn says our defense is top 10. Where? In what?
What year?
In 1985.
Okay.
No, Learn. Our defense is top 10 in takeaways. I think we were first in the NFL in takeaways last season, but otherwise our defense ranked 28th.
Yeah, I guess it kind of depends on like how DA kind of schemes things, like that, how, like, okay, is he going to have like the defensive line? If you don't have the pressure kind of guys, like, okay, are you going to play like a 2-gap system and just kind of keep everything in front of you, play the back half of the field, make the opposing offense beat you like 1,000 deaths by like tiny paperclip cuts. Right. Like, doing that, like eventually you're going to make a mistake. Like you're not going to have these 12, 13, 14 play drives all the time. Eventually the offense is going to make a mistake, and that's where you get the turnovers. And so if the Bears defense can do that again, or have that mindset while some of these younger guys develop, and then all of a sudden you do get that pass rusher. But if you're playing that style of defense, that might get you into the mid-range statistically, and can make you a good a very difficult out when it comes to the NFC playoffs.
For sure. Learn says, especially with the offense being more efficient, let's be honest, the offense put the defense into some tough situations for about 3 quarters per game. Facts, because the offense didn't really start playing football till the 4th quarter. And with Ben Johnson's live and die by the sword attitude, did put the defense in some pretty bad situations by going for it on 4th down, giving the opposing team excellent field position. So noted, Learn, noted.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Are the Dallas fans a little happy about the Packers trade now that he's been hurt for a season and a half?
Yeah.
Tell.
Yeah. They are. With Parsons getting hurt, I think you look back at the Cowboys, like with that whole transaction, the trade, is that everything that they got back on top of it. I mean, you think about, okay, Parsons gets dealt out, you get a Pro Bowl caliber player in Rashawn Gary. Granted, there's a lot of things said between Parsons' brother online, which calling Rashawn Gary out. There's that, but you get Rashawn Gary, you got like a Kenny Clark in the trade eventually. You got with those draft picks, you also were able to send it out for Quinnen Williams, which very highly underrated superstar, especially with Christian Parker's defense. With Ezra and Malachi Lawrence that they just drafted on an edge. And you got Gary playing. Gary's going to play an edge, but you got the guy from the Chargers and playing like a 3 technique, and you got Kenny Clark, let's say, playing a 3, and then you got Quinnen Williams 1-on-1. So you think about how it have the offense go 1-on-1. Defense is doing the same thing. You're spreading those 5 guys out, having Quinnen Williams go 1-on-1 with a center. If you don't have a Pro Bowl center, like going 1-on-1 with Quinnen Williams, like that's gonna.
You're gonna have a long day.
Mess. Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of fun. But between that, getting the draft picks, they were able to move up in order to get Caleb Downs with those draft picks, because they got rid of some of their 5ths and improved those to 2 4ths. Like, I know everybody like rips on Jerry Jones, like a lot with being the general manager of the Cowboys, and that's been the downfall the last 30 years. But you actually look back at some of the caliber players that he has. I just think he hasn't had the right coach until now with Brian Schottenheimer. I think he's the right kind of guy. He's not the riverboat gambler that Ben Johnson is, but he does have that same mindset where he's going to go for it on 4th down. He believes, strongly in a run game. He's got Dak, he's got CD, he's got Pickens. So he's got weapons all the way around. That's, why they have one of the top 3 offenses in their defense. Now that they got all these, talented players in the front seven. They got Justin Thompson at safety. It's their corners that I'm a little, I don't know yet about. But with that being Christian Parker's specialty, like I think the Cowboys are set to take that next. Like they're in their Super Bowl window now with what they brought in on the defensive side of the ball. Kind of like the Bears. I'm not going to be surprised if it's a Chicago Dallas NFC Championship game sometime in the next 2 to 3 years, because I think the Cowboys window is like 2 years right now.
That's what you get. Are you happy, Romy? We got a whole damn breakdown of the Dallas team.
Yeah.
It's just the Everything Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
The Everything Cowboys show.
Yep. But yes, and I think the Cowboys will beat the Packers this year too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome,
yes.
Bears fan.
Thank you. Big Mike says, I don't know about top 10 learn, but if we're just mid, the Bears are going to be serious contenders. Toe says, I don't want to see 7 come from behind wins again. I can't, actually. My heart can't do that again. I can't. I seriously had years shaved off my life last season. No more of that. I thought I was going to have a heart attack during the Green Bay games. Those were the worst ones. I know the Bears fans are happy about it. We are because he's a game wrecker. Micah Parsons is a game wrecker. And if he's sidelined with an injury, I don't mind it. I don't like it. And like the competitor in me is like, no, I want him on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to hear any excuses. Again, when I'm on Twitter and I'm being a completely insufferable asshole to Packers fans, I don't want them to have any wiggle room of it.
Yeah, no excuse.
And they'll do that. Oh, our best defender was hurt, and I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So I want him on the field.
Yeah, and when Parsons comes back, because he had another a knee scope to clean some stuff up, it's either going to be the Packers game, the Packers Bears game, or Packers Cowboys game that Parsons comes back to.
Oh, is it?
It's one of those two games because it's right in that window that week. What, 5, 6?
October.
October. Yeah. It's somewhere inside there. So that's when he's going to come back. So. And
he's going to want to be back for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
One, because of the rivalry with the Bears, and then revenge game.
Yep,
he's got to have it. He has to have his revenge.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see though. We'll see how that shapes out. Let's see. Learn says, sign me up to run it back. That was the best season of my life. Better than the Super Bowl year. Well, because it was nuts, right? When you win in the fashion that we did in those 7 games, it was like we won 7 playoff games. You kind of got that same rush from those wins where you were just like on cloud 9. You couldn't believe what you just saw. And so, but again, my heart and the roller coaster ride again. This year, because we started the Discord, I can't wait for all you guys to be in it because privately, it's my brother, Wedge, and me in a chat for Sundays. And having the 3 of us just going bonkers, whether it's happy or sad or mad or pulling our hair out, it's all in there. But now we have a Discord now where there's, I don't know, what is there, like 15, 16 of us in there now? Like, it's going to be insane. Like all game. I'm being, what the fuck is 4th and 3? Yeah, let's fucking snap it through the fucking tight end's legs. Why not? Oh, it's gonna be nuts. Learn says 2006, of course, not 1985.
Oh, for the Super Bowl. Last season being better.
For the
than the Super Bowl year.
I don't want to even talk about that game. I'm going to talk about it. The opening kickoff, I'm like, there's no way they're kicking this to Devin Hester. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do. And then he takes it for a touchdown, which is also just amazing in itself. And I'm like, that's it. That's game. Thank you, Indy, for playing. It's been swell. Mm-hmm. I'm already popping bottles. And then Rex Grossman strikes.
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't like players getting hurt. I want to beat the best. You have to beat the best. You have to.
Likewise, I'd rather go against Like I'd rather coach against a team that's fully healthy and has like the best coaching staff in the world, just to like see where I'm at, at that level. Like, and what level do I need to step my game up to get
sure,
that? So,
right?
yeah.
It's a great barometer. It does it. That's what I like about preseason when we play against championship caliber teams, because when you start getting to your second string, your third string, and lower, I mean, like that's a barometer check of where your depth is at.
Yep.
So I love preseason games for that reason, because like if we're dominating, it's like, oh shit, we got some depth here. That means between the coaching and the talent, like where the team is going in the direction that we want it to.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, nice. Toast just joined. Nice. At Lou72. That's you. Thanks, Toast, man, for joining.
Yeah, I got it on the Discord about 2 weeks ago, I think.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in there now.
Welcome, damn it. Welcome. Romy says, love Emmitt Smith, but Walter Payton was the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emmitt Smith was a very good running back. He also had
great offensive lines.
Yeah, that offensive line was his whole career. He had hogs.
He benefited from that. Like if anybody had the GOAT other than Walter Payton, I'm going to say it's Barry Sanders. He made something out of nothing.
Yeah, he was my favorite running back of all time.
And if he didn't walk away, Barry Sanders would be the all-time leading rusher. I strongly believe that.
Yeah, facts. He wasn't even on a decline in his career.
Nope.
He was due a contract, asked to be traded. For some reason, he wanted to go to Miami, but Detroit was like, we're not trading you. So then he fucking walked to, I'm out. Then I'm done. Like, oh no. And he was my favorite running back. He was the best running back I'd seen coming out of college, Oklahoma State. No, yeah, OSU.
Oklahoma, because he followed
Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas was there. Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's insane.
But when he came out, and then or some like sixth grade, something like that, and I collect football cards. I got all his rookie cards of all the different companies who were made cards, because Barry Sanders was my guy. But I also have Emmitt Smith's cards, because that was all that same era. Deion Sanders, I got all the bitches. No, but I should say, my stepmom gave all my shit away to somebody.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think there's a therapy session there. I can tell, like, the trauma that's inside there.
No way. I've already had those therapy sections. I'm all healed up. We did just pick a scab, though. We did pick a little.
I can see it. It's you're starting to the little
face getting flush, red. But Barry over Emmitt. Yeah, Barry Sanders was just an exciting runner. He did not always have the best offensive line, and then the run and shoot was the offensive scheme that they were running, which was also, so you got it spread out. So you got 5 offensive linemen, and then every down looks like a pass play.
Mm-hmm.
They're not running downhill. They're not running I form. That offensive line is dropping back and pass protecting, and then it's a draw or some sort of pitch.
You're spreading out that defense. Yeah, and it's kind of like the modernized. I played in a run and shoot offense, and when I was at college for that partial year. And I studied on that because, like, I love those offenses, like with Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers, Detroit, with Barry Sanders, and you had Rodney Peete. Even Seattle started with it, and then last preseason game scrapped it. Chuck Knox, who was the head coach at the time, brought the fullbacks back in, and they put their offense, a different offense in week 1.
They installed it late.
They just said, nope, we're not doing it, because they had, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 turnovers, like, each preseason game or whatever it was. They just didn't have somebody that, to coach that. But that's I'll tell you this, is that was a fun offense to be a receiver in, and just the space it created. In modern day offenses, utilize concepts from that, and then that, spacing, playing in space, that's part of it. But yeah, Barry Sanders in that offense was just unstoppable. Like, for me, he's my GOAT. My favorite, though, is LaDainian Tomlinson, with his Charger years. Like, the complete, he's probably was the closest to being like Walter Payton. like as far as that, the power back, the speed, catching, blocking, that whole package. Like Walter Payton and LaDainian Tomlinson those were the same cookie cutter between those two guys.
Barry Sanders had stone hands. Always. The poor guy. Lawrence says, and then Rex fucking Grossman. Yeah, talking about the 06 Super Bowl. Lawrence says Barry Sanders was not human. No, he wasn't. Walter was the team for many years. Yeah. Basically. Commish, yo, what's good? Good evening, sir. Good evening. And then Big Mike says, next on Decoded, where are my fucking football cards?
Oh, that was a great show. I wish they kept going with some of those.
Oh no, Decoded's my show.
Yeah, that was Brad Metzler. Yeah, he's got some. Yeah, those are some great shows like that. Decoded.
I have a show.
Oh, you do?
Called Decoded. Yeah.
Called Decoded. Oh, yeah. On the History Channel. There's a show. Probably 15 years ago now. Brad Metzler did Decoded, so he would break down like the where's the missing cornerstone to the White House, that first stone and stuff like that, or like Confederate gold, and they would go through history things, and the stuff with I know this is kind of gets into your other show, that one private club where a lot of presidents come out of, that has a giant wood owl outside.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, yeah, that's the one. But yeah, they go into that. They get arrested there too because of trespassing, and that was a good show.
Yeah, Alex Jones did that too.
Yeah, Alex Jones was part of that show. Yeah,
he snuck in there with a camera, and they arrested him.
Yep.
Yeah, and that ritual's called the creation of kindness.
Yes.
Where they have a human effigy sitting at the feet of the owl, and they set it on fire, because they're into all that great stuff. That's a different show.
That's a different show.
Let's see. Romy says, and then there was Devin Hester. Yeah, the greatest return specialist. I really wish, I know they tried playing him at wide receiver. I think he would have been a great wide receiver, except he wasn't. I don't know if it was the coaching or it's a different mechanic, I suppose.
I think he was born ahead of his time. Like, you think about Devin Hester and you put him in like Mike McDaniel's Miami offense, like on those end arounds, like a Tyreek Hill kind of guys, coordinators that are creative. Like Bears didn't have that back then. They didn't have the offensive creativity looming around that that complex, that organization, and that was a missed opportunity. If Devin Hester would be around today playing, he'd be top 10 wide receiver.
Yeah, because you have these offensive coordinators now who will take a speedster who runs specials, whether punt or kick return, and throw him in the slot.
Like Deebo Samuel, 4 years ago with the 49ers, 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Kind of like that, kind of like that.
I like Big Mike here. Speaking of old shit, remember when DQ used to give you ice cream in a baseball helmet? I do. And that was awesome.
And my cousin works, he's one of the higher ups in Dairy Queen.
Okay.
He said, actually, Dairy Queen franchises, the owners have the option to buy they bring in those helmets. So they are still around. You just got to talk to your Dairy Queen franchise owner.
Your local owner.
Local Dairy Queen, go to them, say, hey, bring in a petition for 500,000 people. Just say, hey,
Bring back the helmets.
Bring back the helmets. That's all you have to do. Just go to the franchise owner, flood their email box, call them, and you can get those helmets. You can get them to have the helmets because they do still make them.
I feel a movement coming on here, boys. I'm feeling a movement. And it's not a bowel movement. All right, let's see. Learn says at least Walter always had a defense. Barry didn't have a good offensive lines or defensive help. Yeah, they came close one time to having a good defense, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, it was 91-ish, 92, somewhere around there. Yeah, they had Jerry Ball at the nose. They had
Chris Spielman.
Chris Spielman in the middle. Colfer was their outside backer.
Benny Blades. Ray Crockett.
Yeah. So they had some talent.
Yeah.
But they just.
It's what plus too. You got to think about the other teams. that they had to go up against. I mean, there were some ballers. Dallas, San Fran,
Washington,
Giants.
Yeah. I mean, Parcells was still there. You know, like Joe Gibbs was there with that Redskin team.
The NFC was freaking stacked.
Yeah, they had a hard time getting through there.
That was a tough time to be coming up. Ben would have loved having Devin Hester. Yeah, big time, guys. If Ben had Devin Hester, well, he kind of maybe might with Xavier Thomas.
You never know.
And then we brought over what's his name too, Khalif Raymond.
Yep.
So he's going to use him in some interesting ways, I'm sure, or just straight up in a slot. And again, these guys are burners. And what we saw from Detroit last year, well, from all the previous years, but last year specifically, our defense couldn't stop Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, this guy was screaming across the field, running drag routes and crossers at 80 miles an hour. And so I think Ben's like, we need that. We need that on this team. So he brought in some speed, and those boys are going to be running high-speed crossers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in a perfect example, watch the game film breakdown that we did with the Packers-Bears Sunday. And then this one where, like, even today when we had DJ Moore coming across the field and he's in that open space, you know, you get, what'd you say, Raymond and
Khalif Raymond and Xavier
Thomas. Xavier Thomas. Like, you get those guys in open space. There's your St. Brown, you know, running open space.
All right, boys, we went overtime. We're not on the clock anymore.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. We did the damn thing. Boys, it's another glorious night on Everything Bears Show. Thank you so much for showing up. Again, if you're new, hit the like on your way out. Hit subscribe so you don't miss any shows that go live. Links to the Discord down there. Join the Discord and get in the chat because everybody participates in there. So, boys, thanks again. Big thanks to Coach Chad for coming out. And Haritos, don't forget about your boys. Boys, until next time.
From the first whistle blowing